Hi future AP Studio Art students, my name is Mariah and I took Mr. Brown's class my junior and senior year. My favorite part of the class was definitely the freedom that you have with your work. You get to pick a concentration and then you get to go with it for the whole year. My advice to you guys would be to lay out your concentration at the beginning of the year and try and stick with it as best as you can. Even if it's really hard, I know it can be hard to come up with 12 or more pieces about the same thing. And I would also be sure to actually work on your stuff outside of the class, because the hardest part for me was coming up with that amount of work by the end of the year. Definitely work on it at home at least once a week, because otherwise at the end of the year you will be struggling to come up with 5 pieces like I did this year in 2 weeks. I would also advise taking it your junior and senior year if you can. If it's already your senior year and you're taking it, then I'm sorry. But if you're a junior, please take it again the next year. It is so much fun. And then you'll also grow so much in what you can do, and then your score will probably increase by at least 1 point. So I'm going to go in relative order of what I've worked on this year, starting with the first. This was a project that we did to learn about different types of techniques for painting with acrylic. I did not really like that one because we had to do a certain thing. After that, we kind of started on our concentration, and this was my first concentration. It was of my best friend Angelica, and I took it home that weekend to work on it, and then I did not have all the colors of paint that I needed, so I used nail polish. So I would advise using different medias. Even though I didn't think it would turn out okay at first, it actually did turn out okay, except it smelled like nail polish really strong. This is another one of my concentrations. It is all colored pencil except for this part right here. And this one was different from my original concentration. My original concentration was just people I knew, people I cared about, with a type of flower that I felt either represented them or was for their birth month. And this one, I didn't really do the flower thing, and it was only my second concentration, so I shouldn't have derailed from it already. It's basically what I did that past summer, and it's a lot of the people that I spent time with, so it did go along with the theme of people that I cared about. This is your boy Jacoby. I started to do people in the same class as me in the AP Studio Art class, and this one I did all in watercolor. This one, I believe, is where we had to do it on an interesting surface, and we had to pick a topic to go from, and there was a different list that we could choose. And the one I chose was drugs, and then I went more towards the direction of smoking cigarettes. And this one is about the dangers of smoking, and there's this little girl in the corner. She's reaching for a cigarette after watching her dad sitting there smoke. And then there's pictures in the background of family smoking together, and the whole premise of it is that once people in your family start smoking, it kind of gets passed down. Like, I know people in my family, my grandparents, my great-grandparents, my parents, they all smoke. This project was the hole in the wall, and I did it because the movie just came out, but also because it was around Halloween time and I wanted to do something kind of scary. This was just a little drawing I did of a corsage after homecoming that I got, and I think it was during the hurricane because I was scared. This is my little sister. I called it Layla. This was the first collage I really did, and it was a little out of my comfort zone because, I don't know, it was just weird doing a collage because you have to put so many elements together and make sure that it works. But I would suggest doing collages, especially if you need something last minute. You can take some different artworks and just put them together. This was a fortune cookie project that we had, and we had to pick a fortune cookie, and then we got a fortune, and then we had to pick some different elements that we felt showed that, and mine was it's always darkest before dawn. So I decided to do flowers to like symbolize life, and that's like the brightness and the good things in life. And then a hammer to symbolize the strength and struggle that you go through. And then I kind of did some warm colors and blue colors to represent the dark and the light. And then also I was kind of bored with this, so I added another thing right here. And then it's just a moon and the sun chilling up here. Another project that we had was playing cards, and these are some that I did. This one is, I think, the first one that I did. And I decided to do people that I knew, kind of going along with the concentration. And then on the back, I did stuff like strengths and weaknesses, plus or minus this amount of points, kind of like playing cards. And this is another one of my concentrations. At this point, I was kind of getting tired of everything, and I just wanted to get another one out of the way, so I did one of my friends, and then this is another one of showing that I kind of gave up. I just wanted to get another one out of the way, and then I just did some weird drawing that was kind of a person, and then added some flowers. Another filler. It looks really bad, but I needed it, so don't do fillers, please. Oh my gosh. This one's Mr. Brown. I didn't do as well on it as I needed to because I had 30 minutes to do this before we submitted it because Miss Husley said we had to get it in today. So there we go. This one, it would have been a filler, but then I kind of got really into this one, so I did a lot more with it. There's some gold on here, it kind of shimmers. I really like this one and wish that I did my concentration more in this style because I do like drawing people, but whenever I do portraits, I really like to make them more look like this instead of just regular people. And that's what I started out doing, with just regular people, and I should have stuck with my style more like last year, my junior year, which was kind of like this. It was with flowers. There were people, but they're kind of abstracted. It was more interesting and weird. So I really wish I would have stuck with that style. This one is my favorite because it was the gym dime week, and we had to pick an object and draw it about 5 or 6 different times in different ways, like acrylic paint or charcoal or colored pencil. And then at the end of the week, we had to pick a couple that we liked and didn't like. And the ones that we didn't like as much, we had to make a collage out of it, and this was the collage I did. And it actually was my first piece to win anything. Yay! So at first I wasn't really going to like doing this project because I was thinking I was going to ruin my artwork, and I just didn't like doing the same thing over and over again, but I really decided to love it. And they were all done in a short amount of time, which is why I initially didn't like it. But really, those can be your best ones because they are more out of the box, and you kind of are just getting stuff out of the way. You're not thinking about it too much. And that's my advice to you.